Hello and welcome back to Movie Health Community, the internet's #1 source of health warnings at the movies. As always, please keep in mind that nothing produced by Movie Health Community is medical advice, nor has any of it been reviewed by medical professionals. Last night I went to another AMC Screen Unseen showing. I was convinced it was going to be a whole nother movie. I was quite surprised when it was a very different one than the one I thought it was going to be. It was Origin, the new Ava DuVernay movie, about an author studying the connections between Nazi Germany and modern systemic American racism. Now, there's a lot to talk about with the content of this movie, but first let's talk about whether it was safe for photosensitive audiences. The answer is yes! This movie has a couple of scenes that use just single flashes of cameras. Only one of them is really any bright at all. They're never multi-flash, and they're never more than one in a room. For flashing lights, we are giving Origin a 1 out of 10. And with motion, there is more to discuss in that the camera is almost always handheld. And that can get disorienting when it's so constant, especially when in some scenes it almost feels like the camera person's hands are shaking nervously. But it's where the mental health triggers come in that we do have quite a bit to talk about with this movie. This movie does talk about systemic racism and white supremacy in a very direct manner. This movie shows Nazi imagery and dehumanizing actions from the Holocaust. There's a scene cut to a couple of times where people are shown sleeping in puddles of vomit. There are two people shown working in an open septic tank with one of these workers completely submerging themselves in the human feces. But the biggest warning I have to state as clearly as possible about this movie is that the murder of Trayvon Martin is depicted in the opening scenes, and it is discussed, and while it is being depicted, we hear the real 911 call from the murderer. Now, obviously, this is a very heavy topic movie, but is it any good? Yes, I am going to say this movie was really good. It did an excellent job in setting out to share the messages it needed to share. And it did so in a way that both trusts the audience to be pretty smart, and it gives it to us in terms that we can understand even if we're more simple moviegoers. But this is one of those movies where when it deals with its heavy subject matter, it can and will be very uncomfortable to watch. But it's a very good thing that it's uncomfortable to watch, because it's asking us to take a look at very uncomfortable topics, and it's asking us to discuss these topics because they do need discussing. This is definitely one of those movies I would recommend for teenagers to watch so that they know just what's going on in this world. But I am not going to sit here and tell you this is a pleasant movie. I'm not going to tell you that this is a fun movie, but it accomplishes its mission really, really well. I am going to give Origin an A. Thank you so much to our readers on Tumblr and Facebook, and as always, an extra special thanks to our patrons over on our Patreon page, whose names are scrolling up on the screen like credits right now. Be sure to leave a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when we post new videos, and as always, stay safe at the movies.